right. Hi, everybody. I know we may be starting just a few minutes early, but I'll give about 5-6 minutes to start as I get adjusted here. It's my first time doing YouTube Live. Okay, hi, Binx. Yes, we got that. We got that. I need my little charts. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Sally Foote, and this is Binx, my friend. Thank you for being patient with me. This is the first time I've used YouTube Live, and my hopes are that this can be a way some of the subscribers can post comments or even ask questions when I'm doing a live streaming. So we'll get started here. This first video that I'm creating is about kitty care, meaning how you can take care of your cats at home, especially with the nail trim, brushing them, looking in their mouth. Sometimes for our older cats, we need to give more care, things like giving B12 injections, insulin injections for the diabetic cat, or even fluids if we may have kidney problems with their cat. So the first thing you want to do is to create a space, a place in your home for your cat to be comfortable at, and for you to be comfortable at as well. Because if you are stressed, if you're rushed, if you're tense at all, if your things can't be, well organized or within arm's reach, then all that noise and movement really gets your cat to get agitated. So remember, 3 things that tend to get cats more, touchy or agitated are movement, noise, and actually touch. That's why cats don't like to be touched a whole lot. A few tools I want you to have are that you can see Binx here is lying on his little fleecy blanket. Fleece cats love. Fleece is like a cat magnet. So I would suggest you get your own blanket for your own kitty. This has been folded up a couple times. This is a tabletop about counter height. So this would be, I like working at, a tabletop like this with cats and standing. It's just what I'm accustomed to doing. If you prefer to sit, you could sit at a card table or something like that. But make sure it's a surface that you have never scolded your cat to get off of, spraying them with a spray bottle or things like that, because otherwise they hate that space. So you need to have a place maybe they've never been on top of before, or maybe they like to go, even the top of the washer or dryer because it's warm and the cats like to go there. That can be fine. But a towel so it's comfortable for them. We have to make it nice for them. The second thing is Mr. Binx here has not had his much of his breakfast yet. So I have both his canned food here. So I'm going to give him a little bit of this up here before I do anything. And the reason why is I want him to just like coming up here. Okay, you want some of this? Now we're having a thunderstorm going on and he can hear it. And so if Binx is not as motivated to eat, it can be because he might be a little bit tense. And let's look at his body language. This is actually kind of good. He's listening. See how his ears are turning? He's listening for the thunder that's in the window. You may not be able to hear it on here. And so I noticed this about him, and I know this. These are 2 handouts. You can get this from my website. This is the feline ladder of aggression, and it's called that because it shows how cats go from being nervous to actually going up to biting and being aggressive. But it shows these signs like ear flicking, dilated pupils, if their hair is raised. So he's hovering down here, laying on his sternum with his legs tucked underneath him. You see that? Yeah. That. So while he's comfortable, he's just at this first level of alertness. This other handout, which is available, this is available at drsallyjfoote.com. Go under the veterinary professional resources. I will also have it under the pet owner resources, and you can download it from there. I published this. This is a kind of a graphic, like a cartoony infographic that shows what the cats look like. So the 2 together help. And this pink sheet you can get from drsophiayin.com in the shop. Well, first thing I want to do is I'm going to give him a much more yummy, a much more highly valued reward, because now we have to overcome the fear. And so we're going to overcome the fear, overcome some of the tension with more, more motivating, more desirable food. It's really important to save the best rewards for things like grooming or on the table here, like the most difficult things we're asking for him to do. And actually on a day like today with a little bit of thunder in the background that might have him hearing that, I'm going to use a lot more baby food. There are other products that I could give him if I'm thinking, oh, wow, you really are kind of nervous and I want you even less so. There are supplements and there are pheromone sprays that can also help. But you can see he will eat, so I know that his anxiety or kind of his watchfulness, let's use that word, will come down because watchfulness and anxiety has to reduce for them to eat. If they still do not eat, then their anxiety is staying higher. So these are important things to watch and to note about, and then think of what triggers can I eliminate? If I can't eliminate them, can I decrease how intense they are for him and how frequent he hears them? Well, I can't do a lot about thunder. So even though I'm in a somewhat insulated room here, this is all interior walls, but I'm going to give him a lot of positive rewarding and make this time on the table actually very limited. I would not do all 4 paws, for example, on a nail trim on a day like today. If these front ones were really getting long, it's like, oh, you're snagging me, I need to do this today, then I would only do the front 2. And I would do the back to it another time. If you try to do all 4 when he's nervous, then that's going to ramp him up, and then he'll remember that for the next time. So let's talk about what we're going to do. So he's had some food here now. He's feeling a little bit better about the space. So nails are the thing that always, is a problem for most clients, and it can be for the cat. So a couple of things for doing nails. Like I said, he has to be eating while I'm touching his paw and touching his leg. Okay, you can see he wants to pull away a little bit. So what we're going to do is going to time this. He's going to be eating, and then I'm going to just lift the paw, and I only fold it under. Do you see that? I'm not pulling, and I'm not holding the whole foot. Cats hate their feet to be handled, so minimal touching of the feet. How do you do that? You're going to flip it around, and then, hi there, just only press. I don't know if you can see, I am pressing the top just above the nail, and my index finger is on the pad. That's all the amount of his little paw I'm going to touch. There you go. So I'm right-handed. I'm going to take the clippers, lift his paw, and just do one little clip there and one little clip there. Actually, I clipped his nails yesterday, so I'm just demonstrating this. And so now he's noticing me, so I'm just going to stop and give him another little bit and give him a break. Because as he started to pull away and you saw he stopped eating, he was starting to rise up in a little agitation. Now, if I continued on, he'd keep getting agitated, and then he would struggle, jump off the table, and not want to be up here, which is erasing all the training that he had. So I stopped. You're obviously interested in the baby food. So now I'll give you some more. And when he starts eating, that's when I lift the paw. Hi, I'm going to stop here for a second. And I'm only going to touch the little pad there. Hi. Yes, I know, he said. Okay. So this may be where, again, I'm going to do maybe a little more flexion on here. Yes. And do a little nip that way. And that way. Okay. And then I'll give him a little bit more again when we're done. Okay. One thing I forgot to put on here is a Rubbermaid mat will help to prevent the blanket from sliding, and that can be helpful. So this is how we would work with your kitty to do nails. And honestly, on a day like today, you could see he kind of, okay, I'm not okay. I would maybe just do one paw and then say, tomorrow we'll do the rest, or even if he was, pulling away, I thought, maybe not today. The most important thing is that we keep him up here without doing any of his feet and continue to give him reward where he's very happily eating it on the table, on the towel, seeing the nail trimmers, because this is what keeps him positively conditioned, meaning happy about these things. And that's what avoids the cat from being fearful of just, say, seeing the clippers. If he was struggling and I kept trying to do his nails, then the clippers become a part of the memory of what he doesn't like. And so that's why when you bring out the clippers, the cat runs away. They remember that about that. So now this is all about, hey, clippers are cool, aren't they? You're going to get the rest of this baby food. We're seeing the clippers and the table and everything else. Even while he's eating right now, I might just take his little foot and touch it and then be done. You saw he continued to eat even though he wanted to pull his foot away. This is just his first level of getting more accustomed to some foot handling. that's all I'm going to do. I don't want to push them too much because we are having a little bit, of that thunder. So these 2 handouts, I feel really should be every cat owner, every veterinary practice, every shelter should have both of these handouts. Remember, you can get this directly off my website, drsallyjfoote.com. It's a free download. This one off of drsophiayin.com in the shop. But keep them up and refer them because cat body language is more subtle. Their body is smaller as compared to a dog. It may not be as obvious when they, are looking tense at all. Things like their pupil size or ear position. But you can see as he's eating the baby food now, his ears are more forward instead of turned to the side. He's a little more standing upright, and he's generally more relaxed in his body condition. So thank you for this pet care, cat care, kitty care with Binx. And I hope to have you join me again for some other live YouTube videos. I'm going to turn you on.